Hello and welcome to what number episode is this?
This is episode I, you dogs, and we have finally had one that matches up. This is episode I for Inherent Vice.
Yes.
Are you happy now? Are you happy?
Oh.
You're making me alphabetize shit on my days off? God.
They're calling it the movie that was worth threatening suicide at work over.
Okay, but that was a really good cut, right?
Yes.
Deciding this movie was actually a lot less coercive than I made it sound, but it was deeply, deeply funny.
Well, I'm glad the coercion worked in this case because it's Be Gay Solve Crimes. You know who we are. I should also do a little note here that all of us are sickly. We're all convalescing.
Somewhat under the radar.
Yeah. The sickliest podcast in the game. I have, I don't know, like a sore throat or COVID or something. Lucy, you have,
allergies, hay
you're
fever.
incubating something novel, I think.
You're always incubating something novel, I'm realizing. This is not the first time on this podcast.
You know, I've been incubating a novel for far too long. I will get around to writing it eventually. Get off my back.
But we are here to talk about Inherent Vice. I love this movie.
It's so good.
I'm a Paul Thomas Anderson fan. I'm a big Thomas Pynchon fan. And personally, this is a deeply hubristic thing to say, right? But I'll explain myself in a second. I feel a lot of kinship with Thomas Pynchon, right? Because Thomas Pynchon is a guy who has a lot of esoteric knowledge that you acquire from neurodivergence, and thinks that the funniest possible thing you can do with that knowledge is to build it into really weak puns. And then instead of laughing at the really weak puns, people go, oh, that person's work is so difficult.
Yes,
you know?
He's the champion of maintaining an incredible mystique, right? This is someone who we think that there are maybe 2 photographs of him in existence.
Thomas, take the estrogen. You can be able to go out in public and not be worried about being photographed if you take the estrogen.
There is 1 or 2 recordings of his voice. One is a cameo from The Simpsons, the jokes for which he wrote himself and are, as Nova says, very, very punny. And the other one is, I believe, a trailer for the book version of Inherent Vice.
Inherent Vice, Penguin Press, $27.95. $27.95? Really? That used to be 3 weeks of groceries, man. What year is this again?
Inherent Vice is, I sort of sarcastically in the group chat before this called it Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas at a higher reading level. Ooh. It's sometimes talked about as an accessible Thomas Pynchon novel in the sense that it's 360 something pages. It's a slim volume, right? But within all of that, we are going to pack in the answers to the questions of America 1970,
yes,
California 1970.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yeah.
We're gonna solve the whole society. We're being holistic detectives again.
In a decade affectionately nicknamed The Long Hangover.
You can see out there the high watermark, you know?
The other thing to know about this film, and indeed the novel itself, is that it's foggy. Shit hazy. Edgar Wright called this film Inherent twice because that's how many times you'll need to go see it before you actually get a grip of which way is up and what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I made the mistake of being overconfident and being I can watch this once before we record this podcast. No.
How'd that go, sweetheart?
I thought I had a better literacy level than this, but apparently I need to improve that.
But this is sort of my point about Pynchon, right? When I talk about the reading level, right? That's a cruel little dig at both Thomas Pynchon and Hunter S. Thompson. But it's not to say that, this isn't meant to be confusing, because it is. And I think this is interesting as a detective novel because this sort of confusion is part of the point, as we will see when we meet our detective, because we are in Gordita Beach, California, 1970. We do a classic noir opening. The PI is in his office. The beautiful femme fatale comes in and sets off the whole mystery, and it's an old flame as well. In this case, this is a sort of beach surfer community, and the detective is the most fucked weed smoking mutton chops having Joaquin Phoenix you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, mutton chops, flares, and substance abuse.
Yeah, it's giving Harry Dubois 5 years before the event of this.
Yes, it's Harry Dubois. There's obvious inspiration taken from Inherent Vice in the writing of Disco Elysium and the character design there. It is a very, very 70s thing.
He looks like if a werewolf smoked good. He looks like a weed wolf.
Someone who, if you told him to shave his big toe because he's going to court, he would tell you, man, just like back up, yeah? Just let it hang.
I'm not part of your system, man.
Yeah, groovy.
Yeah, burnout hippies at the end of the 60s, right? So, like, this is the other thing that we have to get out here is the party is over.
Yes.
Right? We are about to enter the long 1970s of the mind and also of the calendar. But this is our detective. His name is Larry Doc Sportello. 'Cause he has a dope name as well as the regular one.
Yeah.
As well as a government
Look,
name.
whom's among us?
And Shasta Fay Hepworth,
Yeah.
his old flame, for whom, as we shall see, he is still carrying a torch and a roach clip, has come back to ask him for help.
Yeah, and, who can blame him?
My goodness, she's very beautiful, is the thing.
How could you say no to whatever she asks?
Makes him feel a lot of feelings. There's a really, really interesting sort of, I'm using critique in the sort of the neutral sense rather than like sort of pejorative criticism, but just the fact that Paul Thomas Anderson often appeals to like film bros. He is up there with like Tarantino, sort of the 90s or to...
Yeah. Listen, I transitioned specifically so people can't call me that anymore without being transphobic.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a critique that had got under my skin a little bit. My favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film, and indeed one of my favorite films, is Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master. I first saw this film again, this is a Blade Runner experience again. I went to go see it in cinema as an alcoholic, melancholy, repressed transsexual boy, and I can't remember whether I was high at the time. I do remember sort of like falling asleep a little bit. It is quite a hazy film.
It is very hazy.
You were on some kind of nightmare salvia trip watching this movie.
Yeah.
You were too hipster to just smoke weed conventionally. You had to smoke salvia. This is a key piece of Lucy Law.
I did also smoke weed.
Sure.
But also, like, this movie is the kind of movie where, like, even if you watch it completely sober, like, at some point you will wonder, like, did I hit the vape before watching this? Did I?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
Now I am completely sober,
Yeah.
ADHD meds, and yet there are sections of this that just slough off your brain. By design, it is supposed to be difficult to comprehend. You are not supposed to really know what's going on.
I feel like there is an amount of DMT that one could ingest where this movie makes perfect sense. And there is a very fine line of it, and I don't know what it is. But I'm sure there is someone, probably Paul Thomas Anderson, who knows the exact body to mass ratio for the dosage of DMT, where this movie is just crystal clear.
It should come in the projection notes like in Mulholland Drive.
If you want to listen to the rest of this episode, you're going to have to go over to patreon.com/begaysolvecrimes, where for as little as £5 a month, you can get access to the rest of this bonus episode, as well as our entire extensive back catalogue of bonus episodes thus far. We're waiting for you. Get over there.
Look, I've been referred to more than one time by the LA Times as a Renaissance detective.